Greetings and salutations, everyone. This is Little Black Dragon, and you are watching Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Dwarven Commoner Edition. Last we left off, we had reclaimed, or rather, finished reclaiming the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak, and headed back to camp, only to discover Flemeth, was hiding a deep, dark secret within that grimoire we gave to Morrigan. Turns out, she has been surviving for centuries by raising a daughter, and when she is old enough and powerful enough, basically, in a sense, taking her over and doing this to basically keep herself fresh. I mean, technically she doesn't need this necessarily to be purely immortal. This is simply to remain active, I guess? So yeah, there is plenty of reason for Morrigan to be upset about this. And so, Morrigan has suggested that we need to kill Flemeth. So, let's continue with this conversation, shall we? I highly doubt talking to Flemeth about it would solve anything if it's true, but I'm tempted to suggest it anyways. So, have any thoughts on that point, Morrigan?
And what would that do? At best, I would receive pointless reassurances. At worst, Flemeth would imprison me once she became aware I know what I do. I know my mother well enough to be confident she would show no mercy when it came to her own survival. I must do the same.
Yikes. So, do you believe that killing Flemeth is really necessary? I mean, isn't that a little extreme?
It may seem so. If you think of Flemeth as a mother, think of her instead as an ancient abomination that intends to use her own flesh and blood to extend her life beyond all natural limits. She did not wish anyone to get a hold of this information, least of all me. Now I have. If I do not act on what I know, then more the fool am I.
Point taken. Yeah, natural abomination using their own child to extend their life. That's a pretty darn convincing argument there. Question. Why do you need my help? I mean, couldn't you go and kill her?
Because if she is slain while I am near, I am not certain that she will not simply be able to take possession of me right there. So obviously I cannot be the one to do it.
Alright. 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 This is very serious, and I'll tell you what. If I can, I will help you. I mean, we cannot... I mean, no companion... how do I say this? You're one of my companions, and you're not asking me to hurt an innocent person. You're asking me to help protect you from getting killed by your own mother. In a sense. So yeah, I'm gonna help you. If I can.
Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Kakari Wilds without me. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours.
Okay. So, first serious question. Do I have a time limit on this?
Not really, but the sooner the better, no?
True. I would try to train myself a little bit up first, because You are asking me to kill a witch of the wilds. But you are serious about this, right? I mean, she is a witch of the wilds.
She would like everyone to think she is invincible, but I highly doubt that is the case. And besides that, you are not truly killing her.
What? 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 You mean she won't be dead? Yeah. So what I'd be doing would just be basically a inconvenience. This is a very serious problem indeed. Yikes. Well, after I've gotten a little bit stronger, so I might actually be able to handle this, I'll see what I can do.
I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Yikes, poor Morrigan. Oh God, poor Morrigan. Oh God, this means we have to fight Flemeth, an ancient abomination who, you know, could, like, kill us with fire and death and lightning and, I'm doing it for Morrigan. I'm doing it for Morrigan. As much as I disagree with her and want to slap her sometimes, I'm doing it for Morrigan. But not yet. We're gonna deal with some of our, Grey Warden business first. But then I promise you, Morrigan, we will deal with it. I promise, I promise, I promise! Okay. Enough drama. Let's talk to the rest of our companions, shall we? And we're gonna start with Sten. Hey, Sten. How you doing?
You called.
So tell me a little bit more about why you were imprisoned.
I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware.
Oh. Yeah. Exactly what happened?
I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell.
Wait, that sounds familiar. That sounds like what happened to me at Ostagar.
I heard the stories of Ostagar. Your kith stood their ground when others fled. No one can do more than that. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand.
You probably dropped it on the battlefield.
Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it.
Did the farmers know where it was?
They said they found me with nothing.
Did you believe them?
I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down.
That's terrible!
I know I cannot justify what I have done. My honor is forfeit. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath.
Well, that explains why you're not heading back to your homeland anytime soon. Yikes. Yikes. Question! Could you search for it?
If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now.
Well, you said you fought the Darkspawn on Lake Calenhad, didn't you?
Near Lake Calenhad.
Yes, as I said. Well, I'll tell you what, next time we're in the area, we'll try looking for it, alright? Alright? Just sit tight with me, Sten.
Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
And Sten approves plus 16. Yay. Awesome sauce. So it looks like not just Morrigan is having a crisis over here, Sten's having a crisis too. Eventually all our companions are going to have their own little crises. Anyway, but you know what? That's life. We all have our moments of crisis, happiness, crisis, more happiness, more crisis. And crap, we're wasting time again. So let's move on and have a little chat with Wynne, shall we?
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Oh, interesting you should ask. No, the ones in the tower were the first I've ever seen. Yeah. I'm not a surface dwarf.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
Oh, come on. You're a great mage. You would never become an abomination.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone, replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts.
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured. Or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
An interesting thought. Well, when we first met Uldred, he didn't look like an abomination, but he definitely was an abomination. Yeah. So, if one retains one's humanity, one is not an abomination.
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it.
No problem. Hey, you've got some interesting stuff to say too, so thanks. Let's see, we got a couple minutes left. Let's go see how Leliana's doing.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Well, I wouldn't know much about that, but how were they condescending?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Well, your ideas are sure more accepting and tolerant and loving than the ideas of the Chantry, or at least what I've heard and seen of them, although honestly I haven't met many Chantry folks so far who've been too unreasonable. But even with that said, I think your ideas are actually very good ones, and I'd have to say I'd prefer them over the basic idea that the Chantry at large believes.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry.
Amen.
But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Amen. Yeah, that's just awesome. Right there. It is pretty much the decision of the deity to decide whether I'm worthy, not a person. I personally, you know what? I'll continue this conversation in the next episode of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins because we are out of time. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, you know the drill. Thanks for watching, and thanks for choosing Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Dwarven Commoner Edition. I'll see you next time, folks.